The Dallas Cowboys have had issues stopping the run, and a lot of people are calling for Micah Parsons to move to the linebacker position. And today we're going to talk about it. We're going to look at some of this guy's snaps from the linebacker position this season. And I want to talk about why I think it could make sense to move Parsons to the inside linebacker position, but why I think it may ultimately make more sense to keep him as an edge defender. But of course, we're going to get into it today. So I'm very, very fired up for it. This play right here is a really nice job from Parsons to be able to read and recognize the play. You guys will see the quarterback's going to basically keep this, and it's going to be an option play to the left. And Parsons on this one is actually going to play this to take the running back before he takes the quarterback. And the quarterback's going to just turn this to the inside, and you're going to see that the three guys here are not going to be able to stop the quarterback from scoring. But Parsons does recognize this play pretty quickly. So to me, that's a pretty impressive thing by Parsons in his own right. I like the way Parsons is able to change direction. I like how he ultimately starts to the right as soon as he gets out of his stance. As soon as the ball is snapped, he's going to go over here to the right. He's going to quickly recognize, change direction by putting that right foot into the ground. And I think this is part of why Parsons could have success as a linebacker. The guy's very, very fast, very quick, very shifty. And we've definitely seen him have success in the past. This is one of the plays that a lot of people talk about when it comes to Parsons playing the linebacker position. On this one here, he does a phenomenal job being able to get over the block and make the play. I think one of the things Parsons has shown us that he can do is he can move, and he can move fast, and he's quick. You know, when Parsons was coming out of Penn State, he was my #1 ranked linebacker. I never once said this guy's going to become an all-pro defensive end. I thought this guy could be an all-pro linebacker. And you see flashes, even today, you see flashes like this on tape. And I think for the Dallas Cowboys, it could make sense to move Parsons to that linebacker position because of plays like this, right? He's able to get over the top, but there's other plays that this guy's made this season at the linebacker position that I think sometimes go overlooked. Here's a really, really nice one here. The Cowboys are going to bring a blitz, and they're going to play Tampa to defense, which means Parsons is going to have to get into the middle of the defense and watch him run with the wide receiver. Watch him be able to get back out there and get into coverage the way he does on this one. And he basically takes this play away. And the quarterback's going to end up scrambling. He's going to pick up about a yard. It's a pretty nice job by Parsons to be able to play that. Now, one of the things with these linebackers of the Cowboys based off of scheme is they definitely have to be able to take this away right here. They have to be able to get back there, and they have to be able to cover in the Tampa 2 defense. Right, so one of the plays that Dan Quinn calls a lot, and he relies on these guys to be able to make up ground, make up space, and play in the middle of the field and really take those things away. It's a pretty nice job right there by Parsons. You have a couple of plays from last year as well that Parsons made. Keep in mind, he's only played linebacker in the true sense this season about 30 times. Last season, he played linebacker a lot more, about 90 times last season. So here, Parsons is phenomenal job recognizing the play, recognizing the offensive lineman, and just naturally playing the linebacker position. Being able to get past the tackle and blowing the play up. This one here picked up about 3 yards. And Parsons' ability to read a play, recognize, and just kind of react and go is definitely there at the linebacker position. You're going to get another one here once again by Parsons. Phenomenal job being able to recognize, read, and be patient, and then ultimately wrap up the running back and bring them down. This was a gain of about just 1 yard. Beautiful job once again by Parsons as a true linebacker. Love the recognition, love the read. One of the things I do want to point to is on this one, Parsons is not the inside linebacker, right? He's not the guy that has to really get in there and take these centers on, take these tackles on. He's more of the outside linebacker, and I think that does make a little bit of a difference for Parsons, and I think that is one of the things you do have to consider with Parsons on if you do ultimately make him transition to a linebacker. I want you guys to watch this play here. Although Parsons' alignment is a little to the right here, he is technically the only true linebacker on the field at the moment. All the other guys are basically defensive linemen. Of course, you do have Damone Clark, but he's lined up as a defensive end on this one. So technically, Parsons is the guy that's going to have to take on the blocks. And sometimes what I've seen happen with Parsons is he does end up getting blocked. And I think there's a couple of reasons for this. On this one here, keep in mind this is from this season. He's going to get blocked by Cooper Kupp. You know, generally speaking, if Micah Parsons is lined up as a defensive end, the way he takes on blocks is different than if he's lined up as a linebacker. As a linebacker, it's a little bit different, right? You're running a little bit more before you make contact with the guy. You have to read, a play may go to the right, a play may go to the left. As a defensive end, that's not the case, right? You're lined up in one stationary position, and you know exactly what you have to do from that point. So in essence, what I'm saying is playing linebacker is just different than playing defensive end, right? And although Micah Parsons has been a phenomenal linebacker in the past, and if he transitioned to a full-time linebacker, I have all the confidence in the world, he'll become an all-pro player. But at the moment, it just doesn't seem like on tape that at the linebacker position, he just hasn't looked the same that he looked back in college. Even his rookie season, the guy made plays from the linebacker position, right? He wasn't a full-time defensive end his rookie season. But over the past 2 seasons, he's transitioned into more of a true defensive end, right? A true edge player. And again, there's a lot of plays like this on tape. And for those reasons, I don't think it actually makes sense to move Parsons back to the linebacker position. Of course, that is unless you think he should be a true inside linebacker for the rest of the season, and you don't plan to move him back to the edge. And in that instance, that is the only way I would feel comfortable moving Micah Parsons to the inside linebacker position. Because he has to get used to the blocking angles, the pursuit angles by the offensive lineman. He has to get used to how he has to get off blocks and get around people. And those type of things take mental reps, right? Like, he's not going to just be able to play linebacker, and day one he starts playing linebacker again, he's going to start making all these plays. Although the tape shows that he has made plays in the past, it just doesn't seem like he's as comfortable anymore playing linebacker. So just to wrap this video up, if the Cowboys do plan to move Micah Parsons to linebacker, I'd only agree with it if they did it for the rest of the season. That way, by the time the playoffs come, right, we got 3 games left at this point. By the time the playoffs come, he'll be able to kind of get back into that mode of being an inside linebacker. He'll be able to kind of learn retake blocks on and kind of how to do things from that position. And of course, we've seen him make plays, right? So this isn't like we haven't seen him make plays in the past, right? He's done plenty of really, really good things on tape. Lastly, you can always blitz Parsons from the inside linebacker position. And I think with that being stated, that would make the most sense. If he transitioned to a full-time linebacker and then ultimately just brought him from the inside on a blitz. And I think that also is going to keep the offensive line honest. I think oftentimes, you put Parsons over the center's going to have to know that, hey, this guy may come. You move Parsons over here to the right. Well, now the slide's going to be over towards Parsons. You can almost force the offensive line to have to slide towards Parsons if you made him a true inside linebacker, because that is the type of player Micah Parsons could be from the linebacker positions, right? He's a dangerous player. I think everybody kind of knows that. But with that being stated, I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think Micah Parsons could be an inside linebacker at a full time? Do you think it makes sense to just kind of rotate him back and forth? Or should the Cowboys just go forward and say you're the inside linebacker for the rest of this season? Of course, at that point, you can put in Sam Williams, you can put in Fowler, you can put in DeMarcus Lawrence and rotate those 3 guys. And you also have guys like Golston or Armstrong who can also kind of play at the edge position. So again, I think there's definitely a lot of different players that could rotate in if Parsons transition to a full-time linebacker. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.